Dr. Sherry, and I am back. I know y'all were like, where were you last week? I am sorry. I told you guys sometimes when I travel and I'm in a different time zone, I get a little mixed up. Okay, so I was in a different time zone, and as usual, I got a little mixed up, and so it came on and said, you should be on now. And I was like, oh no, it's not. It's a different time, and I wasn't ready and prepared. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. All right, got a lot of updates. Okay, now, please, I need you to listen to me today. I need you to share this out. This is probably going to be one of the most important lives that I've done or streams that I've done since I've been doing this. So if you can share this out to your friends, your family, please do so. Okay? Please do so. Now, another way you can assist is giving us a like. Even if you're watching this on a replay, please give us a like, hit the thumbs up. Not in the comments, I need you to go to the actual stream and hit thumbs up. Can you do that for me? And this is the problem, you guys. A lot of people are not hearing this information. That's what's going on. A lot of people are not hearing this information. They're not learning how to apply the information. And you have to understand, the more people that understand who they are, who we are, okay, it's going to begin to tip the scales. And that's what we want. We need the scales to tip. Okay. So share it out. Give a thumbs up to the stream. You can give a thumbs up in the comments too if you like. That's fine. Remember, I tell you also to follow me on all social media, over at TikTok, over at Instagram, over at Facebook, because I put information in different locations from time to time. I haven't converted my entire stream to this information because I don't want it to tamper with my platforms, and sometimes it can. All right, so I just want to be safe, but I do put information out on those different platforms. So again, follow me: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at I am Dr. Sherry, and of course you should already be subscribed to this channel. All right, now let's get into what is happening. I know the first thing y'all want to hear about is the bank. All right. So let me talk about the bank and the importance of the bank. But everything I talk about today is definitely important. Every area that we discussed today is extremely important. First of all, there is a shareholders shift going on. So if you have stocks and bonds in the de facto, I'm sure you're seeing an extreme shift going on. First, it went way up, then it went way down. And we do know that, this is, how can I put it? It decides which way it's going to go. How about that? It decides which way it's going to go. Let's just say that and be safe with this. But if you've been paying attention, there has been an extreme shift that has occurred. And what is happening is that the shareholders on the de facto are now moving over to the de jure. So we're starting to see a major impact in that system. Okay. Now, for those that don't know about American Federation dollars, let me just give you a quick update and understanding of what it is. Hi, Harrison. How are you? Let's give you a quick understanding of what it is. American Federation dollars are actually trusts that were captured by the American Federation Assembly, which is the true republic. Some people get unnerved when they hear the word republic because they tie it to Republican. Do understand, in our sovereign state, Republican, Democrat, none of that stuff exists, you guys. None of it. Okay? Absolutely none of them. None of it. But you have to understand that this government, when it was formed as a federal republic. Okay. Now, do understand, if you are melanated and you're listening to me, our history goes back way further than that. And people have been very successful in court cases with our melanated history. So it just depends on which route you want to go in preparing a defense for anything in the de facto, whether it's your bills, whether it's a court case, whether it's whatever it is. Okay. It doesn't matter. there is a definitely defense to that. And you just got to decide which foundation you want to bring it upon or bring it on. Okay. Hi, Deborah. I'm so happy I'm online today. Yay. Welcome. All right. So when we talk about the American Federation dollar, we already know that when your status is corrected, that you now are a part of this federation. You are now part of the assemblies. You're now a part of the lowercase United States of America, uppercase. There is a difference between the uppercase U.S. of America, Inc. That's the corporation. That is the head franchise. Okay. So now understanding the head franchise, it has a lot of mini franchises up underneath it. So let me give you an example. Hi, Deborah. Let me give you an example of that. Let's just say Burger King. Okay. Burger King, there is a Burger King International, which is the top franchise. But we know we can go in many cities and see different Burger Kings, which are all franchises of the major corporation. That is the same way that the U.S. of America works, Inc. Okay, it's the same exact way. So there are many franchises up underneath that major corporation. Okay, so there's the franchise of all of our states. So I always explain like this: if you're looking at if you're standing on the ground, the first 6 inches are the de facto. Everything else is us. Okay. And the reason I say that, because people don't understand, when you're paying taxes, you're not paying taxes for your entire width of your and length of your property. No, you're only paying taxes on the frontage of your property, which is 30 feet. Okay. That little 30 feet where your mailbox is, that's all you're paying taxes on. So that's why when we do land patents, we take that part out and we resurvey your land. Okay, so it's important for you to understand. So now going back to the American Federation dollar discussion. So American Federation dollar is now backed by over $2 trillion of gold that is already in the possession of the American assemblies. It's not something that has to come. It's already there. All right. And when I say gold back, it is literally backed by gold. All right. We know that the Federal Reserve notes that's the United States dollar is not backed by gold. It's simply Federal Reserve notes, and Federal Reserve notes are valueless. They are not money. And it says it on there that it's legal tender. So if you just pull out a Federal Reserve note, a dollar bill, $5, $10, $20, $100, I don't care. Look at it. It says, and this is the thing, you guys, they don't hide the information from you. It's right there. It says Federal Reserve note. And then there's little writing in the corner that says this is legal tender to be paid for debts in the public and the private. So you have to now begin to articulate and bring that knowledge forward of what that really means. And yes, it is knowledge that has won in court cases. It is knowledge that has won as far as your bills are concerned. It is knowledge that has won. I'm going to give you some court cases in a minute, but it's important for you to begin to understand this and articulate this. Now, how do I know it? If you have been in my my 4th Friday night orientations, y'all know, hey, Shiloh, I only do this once a month now because y'all were wasting my time. Not that many people showing up. So now we just do it once a month on Fridays, every 4th Friday. But you've seen my receipts. But even those that are in the school, so you see at the bottom, newstatusnewlife.com, you can join the school, go to the website. It's a lot of information on the website, you guys. A lot of information that will help you bring forth this understanding. And from that website, you can actually even go over to the Land and Soil Property Group, where we teach people how to get a Lodial title on their property. So we are literally a conglomerate of information. You just got to want to learn it. So now going back to that Federal Reserve note and then understanding what it is with the legal tender. It says legal tender in the public and the private. Well, we're in the private space, okay? The public are those that are still identifying as U.S. citizens. You have to decide which side you want to be on. It's really just that simple. And so let me just talk about ChatGPT. A lot of people will go onto ChatGPT and they'll start asking it questions. If you know a fact to be a fact and legitimate, trust me, ChatGPT will lie. And I have called it out on lies many times. I actually say you're lying, and it'll say, "Oh, let me restate that." So eventually it will get around to the truth, especially things that you know are truth and factual. Okay, so don't get swayed by Chat GPT thinking it's the law, because Chat GPT has been known to lie, and I have been known to set it straight. And I put information in our school for those that have seen from time to time when Chat GPT has lied, and I made it tell the truth. All right, let's see what's going on. Wow, I'm learning so much. Thank you, Dr. Sherry. You're welcome, Deborah. Okay, I'll be on Friday as well as and enroll in the school. Yes, there's a lot of information on the school. The information that's in the school is stuff that I won't bring here on the platform. Okay, I do have some information on our members only on YouTube, but if you join the school, it's a plethora of information. All right, so now it's going back now to the American Federation dollar. So our American Federation dollar is truly gold backed. So it is on that gold standard that we were taken off of. All right. So it's the only digital currency that is backed by gold. So right now, for those that are status corrected, and for those that are a part of the global bank and you have a global bank account, you have been receiving these deposits now. They've been giving deposits now for almost over a year now. Okay. So you should have a lot of American Federation dollars in your account, because they've been given $5,280 in American Federation dollars per month. Okay. Now, we talked about this too. And for those that know this information, just use it as a refresher, because I'm building to a much greater understanding of what's going on now. So for those that know, I'm putting this in chat, one AFD is equal to 1/10 of the gold price. Okay. Did I write it right? Gold price. Okay. Let me put daily so y'all don't get confused. Okay. So 1 AFD is equal to 1/10 of the daily gold price. So somebody research what the gold price is today and put it in chat. And so I'm going to explain to you how this works. Now, while y'all are researching what the gold price is today, let me explain to you a little further where we are right now at the bank. First of all, the American Federation dollar is already on the St. Crown Exchange. It's already there. Okay, it's not something that has to happen. It's already there. In fact, I actually got proof of a woman who actually bought AFD off of the St. Crown Exchange. Now, she bought it. The minimum that the St. Crown Exchange would allow her to purchase was 100. So at that time, the gold was like $2,800 an ounce. So she bought, remember, it's 1/10. So each AFD was equal to $280. So she literally bought 100 shares. So she spent $28,000 for 100 shares. And the reason, now remember, now, if you are a part of the global bank already, if you're status corrected, they have something called the vault, where they will exchange 1 for 1 right now. But you have to be status corrected and you have to have an account to do that. But she wanted to see if it will work. Okay, even though she's status corrected and she knew about the vault and she just had it to give, honey. Because listen, I don't know about having that amount, $28,000 to try something out, but she had it and she did. So she could buy it, or what she did, for $28,000. She bought 100 shares, but she was trying to see if she could now convert it into United States dollars, of which at that moment it would not allow her to convert it the opposite. So right now, okay, Deborah's saying gold is $339, $3,394.59. So that means 1 AFD equals to $339.46. Okay. Like that. Let me write that up. Well, yeah, one AFD equals to $339.46 USD. All right. So that means so if she converted, let me just put in my calculator right quick. So let's just say she bought 28,000. So when our bank opens up, and the bank is already up and running, you guys. It's just that they haven't released it to us yet. So she bought 28,000 AFD. So that means already she has $9.5 million just in that. Okay. Now remember, if you are a part of the global bank, they're already giving us $5,280 a month. Okay. In AFD. And don't forget, now let's just switch over gears now to the silver. That's just gold. That's our gold backed money, right? The gold is to be used internationally. So if you're doing an exchange in euros or dinar or yen, you will be able to use AFD to do that. But we have another side for silver, which is our credit. Okay, so there's two sides that we have. We got the gold side, which is our American Federation dollar, which is used to pay for things internationally. And we have the silver side, which is used domestically. That means in the country of America, on our land of America. Okay. So understanding that is huge because we got a whole nother side that people aren't talking about, which is just our credits. And this is where you're going to get your QR code to be able to purchase things domestically. All right. So it's important that you understand that. A lot of people are honing in on the AFD, but it's really the credits because it's going to be so many credits per account. It's going to be ridiculous. So think about the amount of things that you purchase on that Social Security number. All of that comes back. Okay. All of that comes back, and it comes back in form of credit and silver. And so if you've been really watching, silver actually shot up this week as well. So these are things you're not going to hear in the news, you guys. These are things you're not going to hear on CNN. That's why you have to stay tapped into what's going on and how the de facto market is moving, because it's truly being affected about what's going affected by what's going on. All right. All right. So now we talked about AFD. Now you have an understanding. You know you have to be status corrected in order to be able to participate. All right. And so let's talk about status correction. And the reason I'm going back through this again, because a lot of new people are coming in, and we knew this was going to happen. But even I'm finding some old people need some clarification. When you are status correcting, you guys, the only thing you're doing is you are denouncing being a part of the U.S. of America, Inc., which is a corporation. You were converted into a corporate entity. That's why sometimes they'll say individual / sole proprietor for that birth certificate. That birth certificate is a bond. So as a baby, you were converted without your knowledge, without your agreement. And your mother and father converted you without their knowledge, without their agreement. Okay. And it was an involuntary stance, which is fraud. All right. Fraud vitiates anything. So if you have a court case, I'm just throwing this out right now. If you have a court case and you find just an ounce of fraud in it, United States versus Throckmorton states, fraud vitiates everything. That means everything else in the court case could be true. But if you found that somebody did just one thing fraudulently, fraud vitiates everything. You can get the whole thing thrown out. All right. So it's important that you understand that. What was I talking about? That's why I gotta be careful when I be doing them little side notes. Okay, let me go back. What was I? Oh, no, I'm talking about status correction. Okay. I was able to bring myself back, because sometimes y'all know I can't bring myself back. Y'all have to tell me where I was. All right. So now we talk about status correction and that birth certificate being created. Understand, as a natural man, a natural woman, we are not birthed, we're born. There is a difference. Okay. Ships are birthed. That's why all ships have the name of a woman. Okay. Ships are named women, because all of that resembles the birthing of a corporation that was brought on the sea. When you status correct, we bring you back to the land where you were born. And when I'm talking about bring you back to the land, I mean literally like you stand on land. All right. So that's what happens. We make you whole again. We make you whole with bringing you in oneness with our Creator. Because remember that 9 month of gestation when you were in your mother's womb, that was you, your mother, and the Creator. Okay. That was a oneness that was happening. And when you were born into this environment, okay, the Creator didn't leave you. Okay. You now have a oneness there, and it was stripped from you as soon as they created that birth certificate, because now you began to live a life that you didn't volunteer to live. All right. So it's important that you have an understanding of that. That's why you're status correcting. That's why you're changing your status, because what you're doing is that you're correcting what was done to you. A lot of people don't understand that. And there's a format and there's paperwork and there's documentation that has to be done. Now, what am I hearing a lot of now? I'm hearing a lot of people saying, well, the de facto is not accepting it. The courts are not accepting it. The IRS is not accepting it. Who cares if they don't accept it? It doesn't mean it's not real. They cannot accept all they want. They can say they don't honor it all they want. They can say they don't respect it all they want. It doesn't mean it's not real. And you have to start shutting that comment down, because that comment is really pissing me off. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to respect it. You don't even have to acknowledge it. But it doesn't mean that it's not real. And I tell you who will respect it and acknowledge it. You let me carry your behind into federal court. You let me carry your butt over to your governor. Okay. They know they better respect it and acknowledge it, because it is. So y'all got to stop buckling down to them saying the clerk of court says she doesn't accept it. Well, I'm going to tell you what, if the clerk of court doesn't accept it, I'm going to pull the clerk of court into federal court, and I'm going to acknowledge them as far as doing treason. Okay. So when y'all begin to understand who you are, we don't have to listen. Let me tell you the difference between common law and statutory law. There are statutory laws, all about statutes and codes. Statutes and codes are not law. We are the only law. Land, air, and water. Okay, we are the only law. Common law is when law comes and it derives out of previous standings, previous court cases. Okay. Previous decisions that have been made. Statutory, as they call a statutory law, which it ain't law. Okay, and I'm gonna give you a court case. Let me give you a court case right now that states that it's not law. What do I do with that court case? All right, the court case that defines that a code is not law, and here it is. Y'all ready? Write it down. Self, SELF versus Ray. RHAY 61. Washington 2nd 261, pages 264 to 65. Once again, Self versus Ray. This is a 1963 court case that was in Washington State. And the citation is 61. Washington 2nd 261, pages 264 to 65. Now, let me just go ahead and give y'all heads up. For those y'all that's going to put this in Chat GPT, it will lie. And you just ask for the specific citation where codes are not law, because that's that citation of that. All right. So when we talk about statutes and codes not being law, it's exactly what it is. We are the law. So now when you status correct, let me kind of bring this all together for you, because again, this is stuff that has been used in court cases. You guys, there have been people have walked out of federal court, federal jail on this stuff. Okay. Research the 1868 Expatriation Act. 1868 Expatriation Act, which is still in effect today. And that's why I tell you all the time, you got to go back in history. Okay, some of the stuff is still standing today. All right. And so when you're in these municipal courts, which are your lower level courts, your little county courts, where they be acting like pure assholes, okay, that they don't know crap. Okay. When you're dealing with those municipalities, You let them know if your status corrected. You guys don't try this stuff if you don't have your paperwork in order. If you need to get your paperwork in order, then you need to contact that website right there. Okay, right there. So we can help get you together, or you need to join a school so you'll know what the heck to do, or you can actually do it yourself. Okay, and we show you how to do it in the school. All right, so where was I? Okay, the Expatriation Act of 1868. The Expatriation Act of 1868 says very clearly that you can expatriate from any government you want to. You decide what government you want to have jurisdiction over you. That gives you the right to decide. So if you decide, I don't want the U.S. of America, Inc. to have jurisdiction over me and acknowledge me as a United States citizen, then you don't have to. But you need to do the paperwork to properly come out their system. So some of the stuff is that I denounce my voter registration. I don't vote. Okay, why am I voting for somebody that has nothing to do with me? And a lot of times you all don't understand your vote don't count either. Okay, a lot of people don't even, the Electoral College vote on that president. People are so dumbed down. They out here, all of these protests and I voted for this. You ain't vote for nobody. It's a popular vote. That's all. That's the only area your vote goes to. The Electoral College, and people don't understand from the presidency, there are 18 levels above that. There are people in high places way above the presidency coming down and telling the president what to do like a darn puppet. People don't understand. You don't know. You have to study to show thyself approved so you'll know what the heck is going on. So you'll know how to operate. All right. A U.S. citizen is a piece of property. You don't have blood running through your vein. Okay. You are instructed what to do. You have to get permission to do everything. That's why you need a license. I don't need a license to do anything. If I say I want to get married, I don't need a license to do that. If I say I want to travel on the roads, I don't need a license or permission to do that. But let me speak about that for a minute. These criminals are turning out to be heinous right now because they know their time is almost up. So what am I sharing with my people? Don't try it. Just don't try it right now, because will you get out of jail? Yes, you will. Okay, you'll get out, probably you'll sit in jail probably a day or two, but it's just not worth it because they're pulling people out the cars. People are literally just sitting in their cars. They're doing all kind of things right now because they know that their time is up, and that's what the devil will do. Now, some municipalities, they know this to be true. They are operating the way that they should. Some sheriffs have turned to the right side. We have plenty of sheriffs that have status corrected, but there's still a group of criminals that are still running around here that know none of this and saying we don't acknowledge, we don't respect it, and they're doing very, very terrible things to people. All right. Now, will you eventually win? Yes, but you're going to have to bring their behinds in federal court. Okay, you're going to have to start to get them for treason. You're going to have to really make a stance and let them know you're not playing. Okay. So anyway, when we're status corrected, we don't vote. Okay. We don't deal with those taxes. There's forms, okay, that come, makes you not have to pay taxes. So there's a series of steps that you need to do to really expatriate out of the system. And also come off of a Social Security number. We tell people all the time, you need a trust. Operate off of the trust. When you operate out of the trust, who gives a flip with the Social Security number saying through a credit agency? They're not even bureaus. They're agencies. These are corporate entities. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. They are credit agencies. They are many businesses. And people are paranoid. Well, my credit report. You don't need a credit report. Open a trust, get an EIN number. You want to purchase a car, purchase it in the trust name. You want to get a house, purchase it in the house name, in the trust name for the house. Okay. So you have to know how to begin to operate. That's what's happening. A lot of us don't know how to operate. Now, let me stop for a minute. Can you give a thumbs up to the presentation? You guys give a thumbs up because it helps push this out. Can you share this right now with your following us? If you're following, you have subscribers, share this out to them. Okay, tell people to get on this live because they need to hear what's going on. Even if you're watching this as a replay, I need you to give a thumbs up. I need you to follow me on all social media at I am Dr. Sherry, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, and you need to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to start coming on much more. And if you saw on TikTok, actually came on 2 times last week. We had one live that had over 2,000 people. And I know that people are needing to hear this. You're needing to be educated. So I'm doing my part in educating you. If you need to come into the school to get a much faster education on this, then you need to do it. Okay, because there's a lot going on, and a lot of you all that are watching this right now are so far behind. It is ridiculous. You have to catch up. You have to catch up so you can help your family, okay, and your friends. All right, because this, and I say it all the time, it's not going away. I don't care how much the de facto wishes this will go away. It's not going anywhere. It is here to stay. So it's going to be up to you to learn it. It's going to be up to you to understand it because it's not going anywhere. As much as they will want it to go someplace, it's not going anywhere. But you need to learn how to defend yourself. So once again, when you status correct, when you change your status, your paperwork is done and it's published, and we teach you how to do all of that. If you're in any type of court situation, and you guys, we've had people in our school that one girl, she just beat Bank of America. Bank of America. She beat them. Okay. We have a person in our school beat the FBI, beat the state of Texas. They were in a sex ring, set them up, and they beat them for a victimless crime. So don't tell me this stuff doesn't work. Oh, it works. But if you're in a municipality that is corrupt, that has done stuff that's inhumane, I am encouraging you to go after them in a federal court case. Okay. And again, that's something else that we can teach you how to do. All right. All right. Let me see what's going on. Yes, you're doing a great job. Oh, thank you, Antoinette. Thank you so much. And let me just speak about Antoinette. I love the partnership that we have because she has a whole following herself. Okay. A church. Okay. I think she's a pastor, if I'm not mistaken. And I've had a couple pastors that have come and are now exposing this to their church because we are the true church, you guys. We're the true understanding of freedom. Okay, we ain't asking for no ties. We're not asking for any of that stuff. We ain't telling you to come up and let us pray for you. We're teaching you how to pray for yourself. We are teaching you how to empower yourself. That's the true church. And that's where we need to be going. Okay, so it's important that you understand that. All right, so now let me see. So we talked about the Expatriation Act of 1868, understanding that already gives you the power to denounce being under a government when you don't need their government. You are the government. Okay, you are the true living man and living woman. A corporation is not over you. How does the created, okay, have rule over the creator? Understand who you are. The creator created us in his image or in their image. Okay, remember that is multiple. It says in our image in their Bible. Okay, and I say their Bible because we know our information goes back way further than that. Our stuff doesn't start with a King James version of a Bible. It goes way back, and you got to begin to understand that. And this is how you'll begin to shut all of this craziness down. All right. So now let's move a little further. I think I talked about court cases, expiation. Okay. Wait a minute. I got a little star here. Let me see what's on the back. Give me a second. Oh, when your status corrected, we have an indemnity bond. Okay. And what an indemnity bond is that we know that Justice Anna Von Retz is our fiduciary for this movement to bring forth the for real government. All right. We know that right now on the land of America, there are actually two governments that are operating right now, us being the real one. Okay. And then we have the de facto government, which is the U.S. of America, Inc. That president is President Trump. We're the real government, you guys. They literally have come in and taken our identity. And so now we're raising back up again. And every state already has an assembly. Okay. And they're working real hard to get organized. And so make sure that you have registered for the family reunion for the American Assembly. And that is in the school. That information is in the school. I think it was down to 4 days. Okay. Let me see what that. Hi, Dr. Sher. I cannot get my family to listen about me and ASN. I did get 20 friends and coworkers to listen. How do I get them to listen? Well, you know what, Kimberly? What I do is if you can get a group of at least 10 people together, I'll do a Zoom, and I've done that. Okay. I actually do a Zoom, so you don't have to say anything. Just invite them to very important information, and I do the rest. Okay. Because a lot of times they're not going to hear from you. This is what we call third party validation. All right. So you need third party validation because our family, our friends, they won't listen to you. My family and my friends didn't listen to me. I've been in this since 2009. A lot of them didn't. In fact, a lot of them were saying I was going to get arrested for this information. I was going to, be thrown under the bus. I was stupid. I was crazy. And now they looking like a fool because I have a bank full of American Federation dollars. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is going for. Thank you, Dr. Sherry. I love how we operate too. It has been life-changing. I am honored to know. Oh, I'm honored to know you too. I love you, Miss Antoinette. My team is going to the reunion. Yes. Okay. I'm telling you guys, we're not playing no games around here. For those that think this is going to go away, I have had so many people say they ain't going nowhere. We are here to stay. So now let me continue to go back and talk about the indemnity bond. Justice Anna Von Retz is our fiduciary. So she has an indemnity bond, you guys, that covers all of our debts. So right now, something called Nisara Jasara is going on, which is not a part of us, but it is a movement, whereas the Pope is supposed to erase all debts. Okay, so some facets of Nisara Jasara is actually happening right now. And again, you're not going to hear this on CNN, you guys. You're not going to hear this in the news. You got to come out of that space and really know where to find this information. That's why in our school, we drop it. Okay, we drop the information. If you're in a school, can you give an amen that we dropped it? Can you give an amen? I want to go to the reunion. Okay, the information is in the school, Jasmine, or you can email info@newstatusnewlife.com, and I'll see if the team over there can send you out the information. But you have to, Kimberly, that sounds great. I would do that. Thank you. You are such a wonderful person to do all that. Oh, listen, the more people that learn how to defend themselves and get out of situations, the better we all are going to be. It's not going to be able to work if it's just a handful of us know how to articulate this. This is a movement, right? This is a movement. This is energy that we are exchanging. And y'all can feel my energy and my passion with this. And I was determined I was going to keep going. I didn't care if you didn't believe me. I was going to keep going. This is the amens to our school. Drop the information. We dropped the information. I'm trying to tell you, they have to stay near that phone because I drop the information as soon as I get it. And they have gotten some information, some for real intel, all right, of what's going on. But I have had people try to make a fool out of me and say different snide things, and I was stupid and I was crazy. They can kiss my ass. I'm just trying to tell you because I know how to keep going. Okay. And nothing any of those people do will define me. And they have not defined me. And I've kept going and I've helped a lot of people. Okay. And I will continue to help a lot of people. But I need you guys to do your part. You have to do your part in understanding, because when you begin to understand and you start to see the chains fall off, it's unbelievable. It's indescribable. You'll feel it. You'll be happy again. Okay. You'll have an understanding to the point that when I came out the real estate world and I learned, and I'm about to drop something in TikTok about this too. Okay. So if you're over my TikTok, I'm about to drop this. It's probably today. Do you all know that real estate is a complete fraud? And I was so sick because I was in real estate for over 25 years. I was a real estate instructor in 3 states. I was a real estate broker in 4 states. And I did real estate in Dubai, and it's all a scam. And there is one little statement that I'm going to drop in TikTok. There's one little statement that's in those contracts that proves it's a scam. So I'm going to start teaching with that. So if you'll go to landandsoilpropertygroup.com, we actually have classes. Right now, I'm doing one-on-one classes for those that want classes on how to get your property back. And also, say, for instance, like I'm status corrected and you're not. You can do an agreement with me that I will own your title and I can take that house through the allodial title thing. And then after I get the allodial title, I can agree to give it back to you. So it's so many different ways that you can do this. We got so much information. It's unbelievable. Miss Deborah, join our school is a life change. Oh, it is. It really is. It really is. And let me just say this. It's not only, and is she on here? Is Martina on here? I think I saw her. And Martina made a statement that has stuck with me for a long time, because she has rearranged her plan 3 times. Because you have to be flexible. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. But understanding your plan is going to change, because your life, as you grow, as you matriculate through this information, as your knowledge begins to hit levels and different plateaus, your plan is going to change, because you're going to have more information now. You're going to have more knowledge. I've been sharing my video that you've done to family members. Thank you so much for your video. Oh, no problem. That's why I'm here. There you go. Hey, Martina. That's right. It's my Philly sister. So Martina has changed her plan so many times because her mindset has evolved. It was what I'm saying true, Martina? That you've changed your plan because your knowledge has changed of this information over time. You're much different now than when you came in the school. So therefore, with your knowledge changing, your plan had to change. But I just want you to confirm, because I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I'm thinking that's the plateau, that's the foundation that you have come from. Yes, definitely. That's what I thought. Okay. So she's a prime example of changing and actually matriculating through this information. And she has a trust. So I know for sure she's not operating on that SSN number anymore. It doesn't even exist when you have a trust. And I told people that in school, get a trust. Open up a bank account in the trust. They can't do nothing with a trust. They can't. Everything should be in a trust. So if you don't have that, you need to get it. All right, let me see what else I got here. So on Sunday, we have Bill University. So if y'all have been in our Bill University classes, it is extreme. Every month we take a remedy and we explain how to operate that remedy as far as your bills are concerned. All right. So for those that are in the school, Bill University has been life-changing. So we have it again this Sunday. If you're in the school, it's only open to those that's in the school. I'm sorry, but hey, okay, because I gotta concentrate on those that's in the school. If you want information for your bills, what have you, the information is already there, so you can come and get our past ones if you want. But I'll be on this Sunday for Bill University. So I just wanted to give y'all a heads up that is coming up. Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, the new county judge for my support is going to hear my motions on the 23rd. I'm going to drop the expatriation doctors and info on him. I went in there and sure as be, the flag had yellow fringe Brit. And what they're going to say is that the flag is just decoration. Bullshit. It's not decoration. Okay. It's not decoration. And there's information on that as well. In fact, if you're in the school, go to the one, How to Win in Court, where I actually break down the different parts of the courtroom. And if you'll watch that, it'll go back. I think it's the very first one I did on how to win in court. We've done several, but go to the very first one where I break down what everything means in that courtroom. And when you understand it, it just helps you go in with more of a defense strategy that you can get them on so many different areas. It's just ridiculous. Okay. So yes, you need to carry in the Expatriation Act. And because the first thing when you're dealing with these court cases, they have to have jurisdiction. If they don't have jurisdiction, they can't move forward. And they're going to try to railroad you and ask you different questions to try to trap you, to trick you and trap you. You got to have jurisdiction. If I've expatriated from the 1868 Expatriation Act, which says I have the right to do that, you have no jurisdiction. Case is dismissed, period. Okay? All right, sure. That's right. War flag. Next time I go in, I'm using all my liners from you and standing my ground. No more courtroom jitters. No, you shouldn't, because we got students that are winning these court cases left and right. And the thing about it is that Jeremy is one. He's taking all these people. Oh, Jeremy, drop your link for your petition. Jeremy has taken these people into federal court, that to the point that he started a petition, him and his fiance, to get a judge removed that was mocking him, and the family was mocking them and laughing at them, and that judge was removed. Jeremy, drop your link for the petition, because they were trying to get 1,000 signatures. So if y'all would help Jeremy out with his petition, I'm going to put it up. Jeremy, put it in the comments. Okay. That's his federal court case, but I want you to put your petition in on that judge that acted a fool and decided this was funny. And so she recused herself. So I'm trying to tell y'all, this stuff works. I need you to drop it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the when this is over, and I hope I don't forget. I want you to drop it in the comments, but I'm going to put it in the description, you guys. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't forget. And if you don't see it there, just remind me in the school to drop it. But he's going to drop his petition information. And if y'all would sign the petition, and that judge was recused off of his case. And so, I understand. I know Jeremy in the beginning, he got a little jitters, and because this is unnerving. This man had everybody coming against him, and he is one of our veterans. Okay, he has served for us, even though he didn't understand he was a mercenary, because they've tricked us. Okay, he didn't understand that when he was serving for us, he was considered a mercenary, when he was actually defending the British. He had no idea. Okay, because they tricked our veterans. They tricked my father. They tricked my uncle. They tricked my brother, who are all Marines, not knowing who they were defending. But now he has woken up, and it is time for him to stand his ground. And he's winning. He's winning. He has stood up against these people. He has stood up, and he has made great gain. And now they're going to pay for everything they've done to him, because he has a federal court case. And I'm telling you, he is rocking and rolling. And he got a judge removed. If y'all can't, I want y'all just applaud him right now. We need to shout him out and give him good energy, because this was unnerving what he had to do. Okay. And him and his fiance, Janelyn, they did it. Okay. We've been working with them for months, and they did it. Okay. They've had great success. And this is just the beginning. He's going to see more success after that. But I want us to support him. Okay, because a lot of people, this is what I'm talking about. It's a lot to understand this information. It's a lot. And you have to dedicate time and energy to it. But one day it just clicks. One day you'll start to see everything starting to happen. You'll see it. Okay, when I'm telling you he got a judge removed, you hear what I'm telling you. It removed. Okay, this is the same judge that actually literally, without using cuss words, hollered at him and screamed at him in court, and he stood his ground. Federal lawsuit is now working on suing each of their surety bonds insurance, hitting them. See what I'm talking about? You see, he's speaking the language now. He's speaking the language. And this is what you have to do. You got to learn how to speak the language. Oh, thank you, Dr. Shay. We are family. We're family. We're here. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about for everyone. And I try to help everybody, you guys, but I can't. Those that get my honed in attention are those that's in that school, because I do what I can on the social media to try to put the information out there. But at the end of the day, it is really with you. I miss Robin. I don't know who Robin Williams is. All right. So anyway, let me keep going. So Bill University is this Sunday. And I was telling y'all about the indemnity bond. So we have an indemnity bond. If you're status corrected, the fiduciary, again, is Justice Anna Von Ritz. And I think I put the indemnity bond inside of the court, inside of our classroom. But also, you guys, understand this. I just posted today in the school that if you are in crisis, foreclosure crisis or eviction crisis, she wants you to get your information over to your state assembly. So she'll need how much is owed on your eviction or how much is owed on the foreclosure with all of the mortgage information, all of the eviction information, especially if you've been brought into their municipal courts. And she's going to pull your information in under our indemnity bond, which erases all of our debts. So our indemnity bond covers a variety of things. That's just one of many. So if your status corrected and you're in crisis, I posted the information today in the school. So you have that video, okay? You have that video, so it's important that you get that information over. Now, she also stated that soon you'll be able to handle it yourself, and of course, through the opening of the bank, you'll be able to handle all that stuff yourself. But if you're in crisis like right now, it's important that you get that over to your assemblies. I wouldn't even have a Chi bottle without you. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, congrats, Jeremy. Keep up the great job. Yes, he's done fantastic. He really, really has. And understand now, we're doing this under nerves. I was frightened too when I first got into this. I was real frightened, but I have stood up to many judges and in many court cases, and I have a multi-million-dollar court case going on right now, and I'm not stopping until I get my justice. Believe that. I don't care. I can go into my 80s and 90s. If this court case is not settled, we'll be in my 80s and 90s until it is done. And soon I'm going to release the information about this court case because I was treated egregiously. When I'm telling you some of the heinous acts that were done from a conglomerate of people that I am coming after them for RICO, civilly and criminally. And soon I'm going to release my court case number and everything so y'all can see everything on how I came after these people. So, okay, so now we talked about the indemnity bond. So let's just say, for instance, you're given a citation in court, or you're given some type of court default, or they're coming after you from some type of court judgment or what have you. Always ask for the wet ink signature. And again, this only works if you are status corrected. Ask for the wet ink signature because you are only supposed to pay a contract that is wet ink. All right. If they can't provide the wet ink signature citation, because that's what they probably have already turned in to get paid off of, case dismissed. All right. Another situation where case is dismissed. All right. All right, you guys, we talked about the land patent information. Everything is in the school. Again, right now I'm still doing those land patent classes, 101s. I won't start up group classes again until August. So if you're in a situation where you're needing to get that land patent so you can come off of these taxes and mortgages, again, we're doing the classes. This is where I'm finding the most hang up. And I actually have a student that broke through this because they were able to tap right into their land patent. You have to tap into the land patent, you guys. If you get an attorney to do the chain of title for you, they're only going back 50 years. You got to go all the way back to that land patent. So that means, yes, you're going to have to research. And don't tell me it's not possible, because we had a student, I know a couple people that tapped into their land patent. So you're just going to have to research. Again, study to show thyself approved. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. All right. So one last time, you guys, follow me on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share. If you have a group of people that need to hear this information, I will do one-on-ones with that group, but I need a minimum of 10 people. Minimum of 10. You can contact info@newstatusnewlife.com. That team will get that information over and set up all that for you. If you need to be status corrected, again, come into the school. And I'm really urging you to come into the school, because I've had 3 consultations this week where people have literally jacked up and messed up their own paperwork. Okay. So I'm very, very leery now of people doing their own stuff. Okay. All right, you guys, I love you so much. See you Sunday, Bill University. Until next time, bye.